Hi, this is Cynthia again, and I hope you guys are doing great. And if it's your first time watching our videos here on the Hakuna Matata Talk, we do talk about life in the diaspora. We share our experiences, we have fun, we laugh, we share places. Like we do it all, we talk about it all. And please do remember to subscribe. We have a Facebook page, the Hakuna Matata Talk. We have also Instagram, the Hakuna Matata Talk. We also have what is that? TikTok. We also have TikTok. I forget about that all the time. We also have TikTok, yay. So hey, so as usual today, like I said, we talk about life in the diaspora, we share information, and yeah. So today, me and a friend of mine will be sharing, or we'll be talking about Germany. Yes. I remember receiving a lot of emails, people wanting to know about life in German, life here and there. So today is German Day. We are going to talk about life in German in general. And yeah, let's go and meet my friend. First of all, I'll let Calmat introduce us. Me, I call you Calmat. There could be other names you want people to know or you don't want people to know. Hi, Calmat. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Yeah, you call me Calmat. I call myself Calmat, but I also have other names.
Okay.
All my official names are Martin Paul Kalibala.
Okay.
I stay in German. To be specific, I stay in Bayern, Augsburg, Bayerisch. Yeah.
Which side is that?
That is the south part. It's around 70 kilometers from Munich.
Okay. All right. How is life there in German?
I thank God. Life is. I wouldn't be complaining.
Okay, that's
good. I wouldn't be complaining. That's for the fact.
So, Calmat, like what we do here, I think we share information about life in the diaspora, about life out there, and on this day, like it's about German. So we want to know, how is life in German? When people get there, where do they start from? How easy is it even to make that start? And the procedure. How do you get into the system? Those things. So tell us, life in Germany. If I ask, like, for an immigrant who just came, when you just come to Germany, like, how is life like? Where do you start from? Like,
okay, I want to first give you some highlights. Yeah. The way you come to Germany, there are many ways of coming to Germany. There are very many ways. You may come as a student, you may come as a professional, you may come as a normal worker, you may come as au pair, or you may come as a migrant or a refugee. Okay. So I'll tackle each and every one briefly. When you come as a student, before you step your foot in Germany, you have to apply for a university. Yeah. Good enough, most universities in Germany, in the vast part of Germany, they are free of charge. You just
really?
They're free.
Even for foreigners?
Even for foreigners.
I will come back to that later, because for me that is the highlight now. Education is free in German, but we'll come back to that. Yeah, let's continue.
Exactly. So, I mean, when you get the admission at the university and you can prove that you can sustain yourself in Germany, so, I mean, you can come in and relocate. So the first 6 months when you're at the university, you're not allowed to work. So, because you have to learn the language. But after that, when you learn the language and you're admitted, you can get a part-time job. I think you have to get around 20 hours in a month to work. So you can subsidize, I mean, the money you had from home and everything. Yeah. So working and you get a job, you can settle in. And that is the best part of it. Another part of it will be, you come here, we have, normally in Germany, we emphasize a lot of apprenticeship skills. So there's what we call Ausbildung. So this is the hands-on training, the micro industries which run the country. Because, I mean, when you talk about Germany, you talk about Benz and you talk about the Siemens, Porsche, but really those don't bring in a lot of income as the small industries. Because normally they have the technical pride that we Germans, we build something which goes in something, which goes in something. So small companies bring in a lot of people and they really like people. So that one you apply when you have to apply for a company and a company applies for you a school.
But then you're already in German at this point?
Yeah, In most cases, that one you have to be already in Germany.
So you have to be already in Germany. You have to have your papers in order, and then you apply to the company.
You don't have to have papers.
Okay.
Have papers, you may be still in the system, struggling to get the papers.
But you just have to be in German.
You have to be in German, and your language skills have to be okay.
Okay.
Your language skills have to be okay. But that one I would recommend it because I mean during the course of studying, you're being paid. You are being paid. And in most cases, after the 3 years, because most of them take around 3 years, unless when you're super sharp, you're bright and everything.
What takes 3 years? The course.
The course.
But you're paid in the meantime.
You're paid, yeah.
Because and you paid like fully 100%, like salary, like
100% because you are partially in school, partially in a company.
Okay.
Don't go in you are not. It's a vocational studies. You know?
Okay.
So, for example, you may be 3 days in the school or 2 days in the school normally, and the rest of the days you're in a company working. So they pay you. I mean, the money is not that much, but you can survive with it.
But you can survive on it. And then I have a question. You mentioned like your language has to be okay. At what level is one's language okay? Like, how do you, is it in years or in levels? How is the language?
Use the European grading. We have the A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2.
Yeah.
So when I say okay, at least when you have a skills of B1, you can start.
Okay.
B1, you can start. For university, to be on a safer side, C1.
C1. But then B1, you can achieve that in how long? In 1 year? In 6 months?
It depends.
If you follow intensive course, let's say intensive.
Intensive course, around 6 months, you already have B1. Another way you can come to Germany is through the program of au pair. So it's more of an exchange program. You bring someone to look after kids and everything, all people.
I've made a video about au pair, but that was for Belgium. Maybe I need to talk about au pair, coming as an au pair in German. I did one, but that was for Belgium. Maybe it's the same there. I don't know, but I did.
Yeah, it's normally the same in the almost all European countries, you know. It is
but the years differ, the age limit differs, and the year I think also differ. How many years? In Belgium, it's up to 26 years of age, and maximum 1 year visa is for 1 year. But I heard some countries you can be an au pair for 2 years. I don't know how it is in Germany.
I don't know in German. I don't know very much about the au pair system in Germany. How many? I'll make my research and I'll send you a link.
Okay, perfect.
A link about it.
Okay.
So, the last option I told you was about the asylum process, and that's where the vast majority of people come in here. And I forgot one. You can get a sweet German guy or a sweet German
through my family reunion. Yeah,
family reunion. I mean, you know, so another option. But the other one, which most people come, it's through the asylum and asylum or refugee. In German, and the vast majority. Anyone can apply for a job in German.
So we will. I think we need to talk more about that for people who are still back home and they would like to come to Germany on a working. They call it working visa. Working visa. What is the procedure like? How easy or how difficult is it to apply for a working visa while in Uganda or in Africa and come? Like how do you have an idea?
I have a sketchy idea about it, but I can give you the layout.
Yeah.
We have websites. For example, you can go to a website is Agentur for Arbeit. So when you go to Agentur for Arbeit,
but it's in German, or can we translate it in English?
Yeah, you can translate it.
Okay, perfect.
So when you go here, look for a job you want. Apply for this job, irrespective where you are in the world. Okay. So when an employer, takes interest in your application and you get the job, then it begins from there. You don't have to apply yourself for the visa. Your employer has to send you the visa to come relocate.
Yeah, they have to apply for the work permit.
For the work permit, the visa, each and everything, because for him he does it from here, so that you come and work for him.
Yeah, but then the challenge is when it comes to the language, doesn't the language apply to the work the working visa? The language doesn't apply?
It applies, really it applies, but there's some there are some jobs whereby, I mean, your English skills can overweigh the German skills.
Okay, all right.
I mean, yeah, multinational engineering work, accounting.
Yeah.
Your English has to be more.
Yeah, because I find it strange, like here in Belgium, we have so many people on working visa, but most of them are from Asia. Most of them are from India, from Bangladesh, and I'm like, and there are, of course, most of them are engineers. And I'm like, we have engineers in Uganda or in Africa. And these guys only speak English as well. I'm like, why don't people in Africa apply for these jobs?
Because EU has a cooperation, a partnership with India and some of these countries.
Okay.
So it is easier for them to relocate here. Whereby, for example, if I get a job when I'm from Uganda, my employer has to convince the Landratsamt where I should come here, because you have criteria. You look for a German or a European who can do this job. So you go to Japan, Canada, then you have these Indians and everything. So
Uganda comes last.
Others.
Hey.
EU has a pact with these countries, and I mean, it makes it simpler for them to come and start working here.
Are people in German welcoming, or is the system the German system welcoming, or do people have to work harder and to get into the system?
I'll push that back to a personal interest. What's your goal?
Yeah.
What's your goal of coming this side? You know? So the system
come to make money, Calmat. We come here. We come.
That's what you think. Some people.
Leaving other factors, you've gotten a mzungu, you've married a mzungu, sijui what. The bottom line is so yeah.
But I mean, that is an assumption we make. Some people, when they say, when I get a visa, I've made it in life. So when it comes or reaches here, I mean,
they don't want to work.
They don't want to work. You put the guard down and everything, you know, as long as I can get my internet. European, they give you some money to
survive. Yeah.
So you find someone who has been in the country, for example, Belgium also, he cannot speak the language for 2 years. Like, really?
Yes, talk about 10 years. What are you talking about?
10 years.
Yeah. But here it happens because most people are working. When they come, they get into the working mode or system, and then they don't have time for the language. So you find someone has been working for 10 years, they've been here 10 years, and then they miss the language part. But I always tell people, once you decide to come here, once you decide to come and settle here, don't skip any stage. And one of the stages being learning the language. So in German, I don't know if it's the same thing, because here in Belgium, if you don't know the language, which I think most of these European countries that are non-English speaking are the same. If you don't learn the language, if you skip that stage, it catches up with you in the future. I don't know. How is it there?
I mean, it's all the same to the extent, for example, here, if you're given documents, just in case you're given documents, you have never attended the language school, they tell your employer to terminate your contract to go for the integration.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because you have to go for that.
Wow.
So if you say, okay, no, I'll not do this, I don't need the language, you'll never get a permanent residence.
I think it's the same here. Here also, you can't get the Belgian nationality if you didn't follow.
For example, someone comes if you get an asylum go for the integration. Love it. You must go for integration. If you don't want, it will catch up. I mean, you will not proceed. They'll not give you a permit to stay here. Like, the 3 years they normally give by paying for the integration course. So an integration basically means you have to go to learn the language.
Yeah.
What the culture. What really I recommend for people who come in this way is really, once you get an opportunity of getting in these communities, the small communities or organizations, please take that opportunity. It is really, because you may say, no, I don't have that time.
Yeah.
But normally Germans are not these kind of people who come, day one you become friends. No.
No, you have to build it up.
You have to build it up. So it takes time. So the more you get integrated with these people, the more you get to know you, the
easier it gets even.
Then that's how you start bonding in, because I mean, when you come like that, you have to spend the first 5 years, you don't have a car, you're learning the language, just in case just in
What
case.
do you mean you don't have a car?
I mean, you cannot make a driving license because you don't have the residence here, so you cannot drive a car, or you don't have documents, or maybe you don't have your national passport. So, and car is life, in Europe, car is.
In Europe, it depends where you live. It depends where the city center or in the heart of the city. Sometimes they don't need a car. You can use a tram, you can use a metro, you can use a bus. But if you live out of the city, then a car is life. Like you can't survive without. It's a necessity, not life, but it becomes a necessity. But depending on where you live, if you live in really the city center where public transport is reliable, sometimes you don't need a car. Maybe in Germany not, because Germany is also too big. But in Belgium, there are people, if you live in the center and the public transport is good, you don't need them.
You have to weigh in. You say that you come here to make money. So you go, you get, for example, you get an average job, you get your net as 1,000, So in the country, you can, countryside, you can get a house of around 400. In the city, minimum is 800.
Yeah.
Do you stay in the city or you go out of the city? So you weigh.
Talking about working in German and learning the language and integrating and doing all that. Let's say one has done all that. Someone comes and they say, okay, I want to do ABCD to achieve ABCD. But like when we are home, when people are coming home, we all think there's here life is glamour, glitter, money. Is it the case?
Not really. Actually, when not the case. I mean, when you have that mentality and you're going to America, yeah. If you're coming to Europe, really no, because Europe has its own system. They don't want extreme rich and they want extreme poor. So, and you
they want, they want everyone to have the basic.
They don't want. They want the economic gap to be small.
Yeah.
So that means you can go to America poor, then you make it in 1 year a millionaire. But it takes centuries for that to happen. Okay. I mean, there are very many hiccups along the way. Very many hiccups. You have to pay a lot of taxes, and basically Europe is all about working. It's the work life is. I mean, it occupies your life.
Okay. Why did I ask that? It's when people think that we people in Europe, we don't want them to come here because we say, but you guys, there is no money there, there is no this, there is no that. And when we say, but it's not like that, there is no money, there is money to survive, to have a good life, to have get yourself whatever you want, but there is no money to get rich. So I wanted to hear from your perspective. I mean, I could be the only one thinking that there is no money here to get rich, but I don't know how it is on your side in German.
Really, I wouldn't say there's no man of getting rich, but I'll just tell that person that, I mean, it's the system. The system is meant to be like that,
Yeah.
The extremely rich and they want the extreme poor. So the more you earn, the more taxes you pay.
The more taxes you pay, that's true. The more you
earn, the more taxes you pay. I mean, the more assets you accumulate, the more taxes you pay.
Taxes you pay. So the system, they play you like that in the system. Yeah. I think it's the same in Belgium. The more you earn, the more taxes, the more properties you have, the more taxes. The more you make, the more you pay. So people just settle down.
Or Switzerland, or it is the whole of Europe.
Yeah.
The system is in Europe. I mean, that you get the same story in Netherlands, you get the same story in France, you get the same story in Sweden, they make it that way.
Okay. No, but I know, I just like for me, why I ask, it's because I don't want people to think that we don't want them to come here. But I would rather they come here knowing what to expect, knowing how life is like here. That's why I do this, to give them, to tell them the information, say, you can come, but it's not actually what you think. It's not what you see on TV. It's not what you see in the movies, When you come here, it's work, and yeah.
The thing is, I can explain to you why some people, I mean, they're out of touch.
Yeah.
For example, this system we're living in, it was meant for people who are living here as their permanent home. When you come as a migrant, you want to make money and take it back home. So that's, you have that mentality to have to get a lot of money to take it back home. The system you're working in is meant like you make money to survive here.
to survive here and live that life you want here.
Yeah, you understand. So
yeah,
we get out of touch. You know, you get
yeah.
a job, they tax you almost half of that money you're earning. Third job, you are getting almost nothing, and in most cases, they don't allow you to do that because they're more concerned about your health and everything. So I mean, you'll make money. You'll make money when you come. You'll make money, that's for sure. But to survive here, to live here, you know,
not to go and get rich back home. But I'm glad you said it. You've actually explained it better, because when I'm asked, it's sometimes for me difficult to explain, like how come there's no so much money, like how come people here we don't say, oh, you can't get extremely rich, but you have explained it better. Like the system we work in here, it's for people who are meant to stay here, not for us in Kubacheyo who come here and you want to make money and go back home and do stuff. We talked about working in German. We talked about, for me, the best part is the education is free 100% up to the university. That I find it the max. But what is the best thing for you in German, living in Germany? What is the best part?
The best part of living in Germany, you have a lot of opportunities.
Okay.
There are a lot of opportunities if you're willing to run with the system. Okay. Another thing is, I mean, education is free. You can wake up and say, you know what I'm doing, I don't like it. I don't really like this. You go back, you learn something new.
Wow. You learn like that.
Just like that, you know. I mean, you find a lot of the Germans themselves. You find, okay, I did the house building, I have a bachelor's degree, I have my master's, but I also have a profession in this. And like, I mean, you're around 27. How did you do this? Saying, no, when I finished high school, I went for an apprenticeship, I did this, then I went for this apprenticeship, I did this, then I went for my bachelor's, you know, and yeah, I don't need the bachelor's, I'm doing this right now. Like, okay. So, I mean, it's all rounder. That opportunity we don't have in Uganda.
No, someone coming over, they're in Uganda, they want to come. What advice would you give them? They're already like, they're already like ready to come. What advice would they?
Okay. The thing is, once you come to Europe, the systems work. Don't let anyone fool you that they can pass you outside the system. Nope. Systems work. So you should make sure you align yourself with the system. That's the first thing.
Second, and how do they align themselves with the system? For example,
you go, hand in your documents, apply legally. Don't let anyone fool you that when you give me this money, once you do this, I'll make you pass this side. Once you give me this money, I'll help you apply for this university and everything. Nope. The system is legal and you use the legal system and it is working.
I have a question before we go to the second advice. When you talked about the system works and you know, I've received a question not like a few months ago from one of the people who watch my videos, and he asked that there's a company in Uganda that is taking people to work in German. Do you think these people are genuine? I couldn't even answer that, and I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure, but like, you know how they take people to Dubai or to that side of to UAE. So I've heard that there are companies bringing people to work in Germany. Have you heard about that?
Not really.
Okay, we leave it at that.
And give them an advice. You know, Europe is not like Uganda or Africa or any other country. You can just go to the embassy website, Google, check for the company, what they're telling you to do and everything. It has to be listed there. You know, everything has to be on the embassy website. So, I mean, I'm giving you a benefit of doubt. Okay, the company is there. Just go to German embassy in Uganda, look out for this company, look out for the job that you're going to come to, which requirements do you need. You understand? Because let me tell you, even if you're 1,000 people, you are coming for a conference, when you're going for a visa, you stand there alone for your visa interview. I mean, you stand there for your visa interview. So, I mean, you have to cross-check before you give in your hard work money. Yeah. Okay.
Because I got that question, and unfortunately, I couldn't give an answer because I wasn't really.
Have no idea about it. I really have no idea about it.
I also have no idea. I have no idea. It could be genuine, but If someone knows something, let us know, but I don't have no idea about it.
I mean, advice I give you, if you had education in Uganda and I mean, you really want to make good use out of it, come to Europe. They value education. They value education. They value education. You understand?
But in Belgium, it's different. In Belgium, when you come here and you have your bachelor's degree, most of them, they don't equivalent to a bachelor's degree. Here, it's always a level lower. Some you get your bachelor's degree, depends on the course, because they look at how the course units, what did you do, what did you study, and then sometimes you have to make a motivation and stuff like that. But most of the time, it's a level lower, and those who are lucky, they get their bachelor's or their master's or whatever. But in German, how is it? Because when you say they value education, how?
When you come to Germany with the document, you have an Erkennungsamt. So here you bring in documents and everything. So it's more like they're equating to the standards. In most cases, they may say, okay, yeah, your bachelor's, yeah, but I mean, you have to go back for 1 year. You understand? So, I mean, you can go back, you make the 1 year, they say, okay, it is lower, but you can upgrade. You know, when you upgrade, and I mean, every year you put on your document, the thing is, whenever you have a European document, educational document, you know, for example, I've been in Belgium 3 years and you say, I'm going back to Kampala to apply for a job, let's say for a job in Kampala. When you have a document, it's from Belgium.
From here.
From Belgium or Germany or France, you know.
Yeah.
Someone from our local university, okay, he has to fight more for that
of
job.
Course, yeah. I can't agree more. I think, yeah, you're right. Yeah, if we decide, if you started from here and you go back, you have more opportunities than now. Okay, my Calmat, thank you so much for your time. What more can I ask? What do you want to share with us? Like, what is that one thing people don't know about German? And you, like, not long ago, I did a video about Belgium where I was sharing with people, oh, this is Belgium and stuff like that. What is that one thing we don't really know about German and you want people to know about?
Okay, when you talk about German, most people have the stereotype of the era of the Nazi, and it's like Germans are unfriendly people and everything. Really, German are very loving people. They're very nice people, really nice people. Very many work opportunities in Germany, and German is fun. I mean, you can learn the language and interact. But
you know, I think all these European countries that are non-speaking, English speaking, if you learn the language, it gets fun.
Yeah, it gets fun. But I mean, the thing is, please break that stereotype that, I mean, Germans are cruel, they are racist and everything. No, it is not true. Until when you reach here, it may be subjective. It may be subjective. I cannot tell you that I've been in this scenario and I felt that I've been judged according to my race and everything.
You're lucky, I think. It happens.
Yeah, I know it happens, but it's not like the general thing which is happening. You should break those stereotypes, and German is fun. You come.
German is fun. German is nice. There are so many opportunities. There is this, there is that. Basically, like just any other European country. But what are the challenges? Like, what would you say there are some challenges that you've faced, or general challenges, not specifically pointing at you, but like general challenges that migrants face in German?
Okay, German has a lot of bureaucracy.
Okay.
And a lot of bureaucracy. So if you're not willing to take that path, it is not the right country for you. Because you'll have to face it and face it and face it and face it and face it. When you come from Uganda, really you have to adjust to the timekeeping mentality, because here time is it is one of that
time is time
thing. They really bring up that saying time is money, and really a lot of people. I talked about the language. Very many people fell out with the language, but when you come here, the first thing you have to do before you waste your time with everyone, before taking a lot of alcohol, try your level best to learn the language, to grasp the language, because When they say education is the key in Uganda, here they say language is the key. You can do nothing without the language.
Yeah, I always tell, I remember I made a video in the beginning and I said that we're here, when you learn the language, it's a key that opens almost every door.
Because we have this stereotype, no, but those people are white, they'll speak English. No, and they'll even tell you, I learned English, but I forgot it.
There's a period I forgot English as well. There's a period not forgetting, but I would literally have to dig deeper to find my English. And I remember I went home. This time I went to Uganda, and one of my friends mentioned that, hey, Cynthia, you speak broken English. I was like, but it's because I was mixing it with this language. I was still, trying to put all my energy in learning Dutch and everything, and I completely forgot English, and I didn't even have a lot of chance to speak English. And I went home, and they're like, you're from Europe, but your English is broken. And I was like, so when I can really relate when you say that you even forgot English. I think it happens when you decide to learn the language, it does happen. It does happen.
And I think that another thing which I would advise people to, when you come to Europe, you have to be very open-minded and ready to learn something new. The problem we make normally, when we come to Europe, we want to bring our culture, our lifestyle here. What I'm saying, instead of integrating and adapting some of our culture, we want the society where we are to adapt to our culture. You understand?
Okay.
So that is the mentality we have again. We do this, why don't they do this? But
I mean we don't have also to forget about our culture. For me, we can find the middle where like you said, we integrate our culture into their culture, but not completely saying, okay, me, I'm with them, Africans, we don't do that. I know that statement.
For example, you come here, you get a German baby and everything. I was like, no, for us, it's women supposed to cook.
We African men don't cook.
Men, we don't cook. I'm telling you, if you come with such a mentality, the system will throw you out.
The woman who does ABCD in the house. Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for your time. I know. And thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your experience about Germany. And we talked about, I'll remind you again, we talked about the links about, we will share the link of the official link of German Embassy in Uganda. We'll share the link for working, people who want to apply for work, that's working permit. Then what else will you share with us? We'll share all those links on our YouTube channel. You give us all the links that you think will be helpful to our people who can use them. And of course, as usual, we will share the links. And again, Calmat, thank you so much for making your time. And if I receive questions about German, trust me, I'll forward them to you.
Exactly. I'll be willing to answer each and everything.
I have to receive questions at the end of videos from people.
I'll answer each and everything I know, which I don't know. I have a good network of friends, German friends, who can help me out, and I'll forward the questions. Where I can help, really, I'll help with the answering and everything.
That's good.
Where I can't help, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We cannot do much. We can't have all the answers.
Exactly.
Only so
and
much.
thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Calmat. Thank you.
Really, thank you. And I thank you for this platform you are sharing with other people, because some of us, when we came here, we didn't have such opportunities. We came here very green, nothing and everything, but we're interacting.
You made it.
We are interacting.
You made it.
So thank you very much for sharing, so that we can also inspire other people, the next generation. And
we are doing our best. We are doing our best, Calmat. Thank you.